Really? Okay. Alright. So, I'm about to wire up the first column of 20 double chests because this iron machine has filled the initial depot of all these chests with iron. Had just didn't do the math right. It's producing so much more than I thought it would. So pretty soon I'm going to steer these hoppers away from these full chests and start filling up these columns of chests, and just gonna keep going and let it make so much iron that I'll never be able to use it all. So this is the under the basement little collection area for the iron machine in the consumers building. So if you come up to the top, you can see this is the machine doing all the work. Yeah. So the golems spawn in there and get killed on the lava blades. But this is not really what this video is about. Just gonna do a brief... Oh. So there's a golem that just died right there. So these 4 machines are making so much iron. If you need iron in your world, this is the way to do it, man. It really works well. I got videos dedicated to just this, so take a look. It's a simple machine to make. I stacked them at 20 block intervals, and now I'm filling up double chest after double chest with iron just by AFKing here. Anyways, what I was gonna do, and to save time, I'll have to be able to fly. Just show the elevated rail system. Creative, yeah. Oh, come on, what did I do? Game mode, creative, there we go. Okay. So the elevated rail system, you can already see pieces of it there. Tried to make the cars look like the L cars from Chicago, and I tried to tie them all into the train station. So the subway goes under the train station. That's all it's ever done, really, is the train station has been I should say a functional subway with tracks that lead to all parts of the city and old farms and the old city and the new mine. So these take you everywhere, and that's what the train station was for. It doesn't get used much because trains just aren't fast enough, in my opinion. So we just did a cosmetic one that looks somewhat like the Chicago elevated rail. So this above ground part of the station now has these 2 elevated rail platforms, and you can see this one I guess has more done. There's you walk up to a car here, and then you can see a car leaving here. Now I know that L trains typically have more than one car together, but this has just been for fun. So let me fly here. You can see I tried to conceal some of it. I thought the overpasses looked nice, and then I built some of it into some of the buildings as a way to just easily get around the city a little bit. This isn't really functional. You can see there's no powered rail here, and there's 2 rails to make the big cars, and then of course this is the big Chicago Spire Tower. This was is a rail substation for the functional rail. So this elevated rail wraps around the building and then goes over to the east side of the city. And you can see the Wrigley building, the Hancock Tower, the R.R. Donnelley building. Everything's kind of wired together. There's the Field Museum. So this loop is one loop that goes around this part of the city. Doesn't go to like the downtown, but it does loop all the way back here to the train station. Now this loop over here goes to the other side of the city. These overpasses, I gotta do some signage and stuff to show. But you can see it goes past the depot, it goes past the IBM tower with the automated food stuff in it, and there's the Chicago water tower, classical water tower, 2 Prudential building where all the villagers are, some of the villagers are, and the train continues on between the corn cobs. I forget the names of these buildings, but they're real. And it heads over to the it goes under this 2-lane or this elevated highway, which I contemplated going over it, but just got lazy and did it under, and heads out here to the Trump Tower. And this is sort of the edge of the city. Now, if Stavros ever comes back to finish this airport, because he really did just barely get it started, the rail will of course branch off to this airport area. But right now it's kind of dead-ending into the Trump Tower. And then it circles back around. It goes to the classic building side. You can see there's a car here simulating picking people up at this building. I did this little like this car was being repaired kind of thing on this little side track. I just thought it looked nice. Actually, it was the first one that I made, coming up with the design and pattern for all the cars. And it heads back in this direction. Again, this is all survival mode. Everything is mined and built in survival. That's the rules on the server. Has been for 11 years or more. And you can see it kind of goes to where these older classical buildings are. This is the insurance building and the jewelers building here. That's the, I forget, Century building. And I liked the way this turned out, this overpass. I didn't like that it was off center, because this is obviously an odd pattern with 1, 2, 3. In this particular alley was 6 wide, so it went off center. But I'm still going to build in here just to make it a little bit more charming. I might put some platforms up there. What was that? You see that? Something drop? I don't know. Anyways, so this heads back, and you can see there's the train station again. There's the library. So it circles around most of the city with 2 loops tying back into the train station here. It's not done. I gotta put the cars on this side. There's no cars on this loop. Still trying to decide where to put them. But yeah, there's gonna be some more towers that go up soon. There's gonna be some cars and some buses too. I didn't put the loop around the center of the town, or I should say, where this town started, which was over here near the Aeon Tower and the Blue Cross building. There's no rails that reach out here, so yeah, that's the iron prototype. But we need to tear that down still, because these guys, these little witch guys, I don't know how they spawned in there, but they did, and then they killed all the villagers that were in there. So I just gotta tear this down now and probably kill those guys. But that was Vanilla Dips. Anyways, yeah, so over on this side of the city, I'm just gonna make a couple of bus stops, because the train service doesn't reach this corner of the city, and near as it gets is over here on this side of the IBM tower. So I'll just put a couple of bus stops here over on this side. And then the city will continue to expand. You can see the scale of these things are quite large. If you haven't watched previous videos, they're near half scale, some of them bigger. I have excavated with TNT a bunch of new build sites, on which takes as long as building the buildings. There's lots of new space being built up. I even put it in this water feature, this little canal right through this desert biome. So there's lots of new places to build. That's really all I was going to show. Is mostly it's just that the rail system is going in, and there should be more beacons going up, but Sequax, Domini, and Vanilla Dip haven't been here in a while. There's also a gold machine I have to show on it, and apparently it's producing a lot of gold, but I don't know where it is. It's down in the nether somewhere. So yeah, now I'm just belaboring the points. I should probably make more aircraft. I should probably, because we have this helicopter here flying in this direction, way too close to the Sears Tower. And there's this one airplane coming in, but I thought of making a very large airplane much higher up, so I'm gonna have to like jump block all the way up past that. Now that you can get above that 256 level, so I'll probably have some of those projects coming up. This is probably going to get modified as well. This was supposed to be the substation, and it's actually functional, and it goes out to the old farm, to the old city, but it's just not used. It needs to be dressed up. This construction lighting needs to be replaced with glowstones. So there's just so much to do. So many towers that need flooring too. But yep. Oh, yeah. So last thing is the mob tower is producing a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. I'd say it's producing optimally. You can see it's raining monsters. They spawn up there, and they hit a tripwire as soon as they spawn and get shoved off a ledge, and then they die. I set it up so that the collectors are catching all of it now, instead of trying to elevate it back up through glass block. So I got this little collection area down here. I just emptied it, so I guess it's not fair to show now, but it's I've got a whole box of powder out of it, which we need because we're blowing up a lot of um, terrain to make build sites, and people are using it to strip mine the nether for netherite. So I think that the mob tower in the or the mob machine inside of the Hancock Tower is now keeping up with demand, but as the future goes on, I may have to expand it or make it go down into the ground, or maybe put a third tower inside of it, so that it produces more. But it's still doing really good. Bouchard's built that for us, and I just kind of 2.0'd it not long ago. So, yeah, that's really it. Thanks for watching. Oh.